Some lines are drawn to protect the people we love. Others are crossed because we're afraid of losing them. And sometimes, the very act of protecting someone can become the thing that tears them apart. Adam stood in front of the bathroom mirror, staring at his reflection like it was a stranger. His face was tense, his features sharp under the dim light. On the sink next to him, his phone vibrated quietly. It was another message, another persistent buzz that served as a constant reminder. There was no safe way out anymore. He had promised himself the lie was only temporary. Just one more deception. A small one, just enough to keep Maya safe. But he knew deep down that lies don't stay small for long. They grow, they twist, and they create a world of their own. In the bedroom, Maya watched him from the doorway. She was a silent observer, her soft features and expressive eyes filled with a quiet worry. She didn't say anything. She rarely did these days. Silence had become her way of listening, her way of piecing together the unspoken truths. And lately, Adam had been giving her far too many reasons to listen very, very closely. "You're leaving again?" she finally asked, her voice calm, almost too calm. Adam hesitated for just half a second too long, a pause that was louder than any word. "Just work," he replied, his voice strained. "I won't be long." Maya simply nodded, but her eyes never left his face. She saw the way he avoided her gaze, the tension he couldn't quite hide in his voice. "You don't have to explain," she said softly. "I trust you." Those 3 words, meant to be a comfort, cut deeper than any accusation ever could. The weight of his guilt pressed down on him as he reached for his jacket. He wanted so desperately to tell her everything about that debt that hung over the mill like a storm cloud, about the threats that followed him into the shadows, about the impossible choices he was being forced to make. But every time he tried, the image of her in danger, her safety compromised, would flash in his mind and seal his lips shut. Some truths just felt too dangerous to share. He walked out the door, believing he was protecting her. Outside, the night air was cold and bit at his skin. Adam walked quickly, his footsteps echoing on the empty pavement. He met the man near an abandoned, dimly lit parking lot. Same dark jacket, same unreadable, cold expression. "You're late," the man said, his voice flat. "I'm here," Adam replied, trying to keep his own voice steady. "That's what matters." The man just smirked, a cruel twist of his lips. "So, are you ready to finally cross the line?" Adam's jaw clenched. "I said I'd help, but she stays out of it. Completely." The man stepped closer, invading his personal space, his presence menacing. "You don't get to make demands anymore," he whispered. Adam hesitated for a long, painful moment. Then, nadad. And in that silent agreement, something inside him broke. Back at home, Maya sat alone on the couch, the house unnaturally quiet and still. She tried to distract herself with a book, with the TV, with anything. But her thoughts kept circling back to Adam's face. The fear she saw hiding in his eyes, the lies he didn't even realize he was telling anymore. Her phone buzzed, pulling her from her thoughts. It was a message from an unknown number, just one sentence. "You should ask him where he really goes at night." Maya's heart skipped a beat. A cold dread washed over her as she stared at the screen, her fingers feeling numb. She didn't reply. Instead, she stood up and walked with a new, unsettling purpose toward Adam's desk in the corner of the room. She told herself she wasn't snooping. She was just looking for reassurance, for some piece of evidence that would prove her instincts were wrong, that this was all in her head. She opened a drawer. Inside, she found a folded paper, then another, and then a small black notebook. Her hands trembled as she opened it. Names, dates, amounts of money scribbled in a frantic hand, and one number circled over and over again. Her breath caught in her throat. This wasn't work. This wasn't just a late night at the office. This was a life she knew nothing about. A dark world her husband was a part of. Just then, the sound of the front door unlocking froze her in place. Adam stepped inside, his face tired, his shoulders heavy with a burden he thought he was carrying alone. He stopped dead when he saw her standing there, the open notebook in her hands. The evidence of his secret life laid bare between them. The room felt like it was holding its breath, the silence stretching into an unbearable tension. "Where did you get that?" he asked, his voice barely a whisper. Maya looked up at him, her eyes steady but filled with a deep, shattering hurt. "How long?" she asked, her own voice shaking. "How long were you planning to keep lying to me?" Adam opened his mouth, but no words came out. There were no more excuses, no more work trips, no more temporary lies. This time, there was nowhere left to hide, and the line he had crossed to protect her might be the very thing that destroys them both. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for the next chapter of their story.